We have Phil Henning, who's going to give us a live demo of BitOps with his talk, Managing Infrastructure Using BitOps. Phil has over 5 years of experience as a developer and 2 years of experience as an SRE. His passion is making the development lifecycle simple and repeatable so developers can focus on solving complex, interesting issues instead of performing maintenance and putting out infrastructure fires. Phil, take it away.
Thank you, Andrew. Piggybacking off of Mick, I'm going to show you guys sort of how to use BitOps in a practical way. But before that, I want to explain what I'll be deploying. So HeyEmoji is a self-hosted Slack reward system that teams can use to recognize each other and give kudos. And Slack, obviously, being a comms tool that most development houses know very well. So we'll come back to what that looks like later. But just be aware, HeyEmoji is an open source tool that you can go and check out, and you can deploy it using BitOps. BitOps itself is an orchestration tool, as you heard from Mick a moment ago. And though I'm going to be using it for some local iterative development, the best practices do suggest that you take BitOps and you use it within an automated pipeline. And finally, just so that you have an awareness, though I'm going to be doing this, we do have instructions on how to do this from start to finish over on the Bitovi blog. So feel free to head over there and give it a try. So to make my life easier and everybody else's lives easier, I've done some pre-work. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to run our Yeoman generator. The Yeoman generator was created by Connor, and it just helps to create a very quick BitOps folder structure. So for our environment, we're just going to call it test. We're going to be using Terraform, and for all the other services, we're going to say no. So the Yeoman generator created our test directory, which is our environment context. And inside test, you can have your tools. So for us, we chose Terraform. And so we have our Terraform folder. And then within that, we have a few standards, some defaults that BitOps uses. But before we do that, let's just talk about these folders right here. You've got 2 folders that you get to add to make sure that you have, or make sure that you can do customized work prior to and after the BitOps run for the selected environment. So if we had chosen Helm, we'd have these same directories underneath Helm, and those scripts that are found inside the before and after folders will run in their selected stages. BitOps itself is going to use environment variables to add context into the container, and inside of that, BitOps will use the context to deploy our services. So for the context, we're just saying that we're going to need a AWS state bucket. We've given it a simple name, live demo HeyEmoji operation bucket, and we're just going to give it a default region as well. All right. So we've added some files in, and these files you would create yourself, but just for ease of the live demo here, I've just pre-created and then copied them over. So let's take a look at what they are. So these files, they basically define the resources that you're going to want to, in this case for Terraform, provision from AWS. And if you don't know what Terraform is another tool that you can use for quite a lot, but in our case, we're going to be using it to define resources that we'd like to provision specifically from AWS. So you can define IAM rules, you can define your instances. In this case, we're going to be using an EC2 micro. You can define local files that will be used by other components and other tools within BitOps. Providers, things like we're going to need to know what S3 bucket within AWS we'd want to deploy into. Well, sorry, to keep our state in rather. Security groups, to ensure that what we're doing is secure. Some extra vars, and then some VPC. And the VPC is the virtual private cloud that the EC2 instance is going to run on. And so you can see all of that right here. So to run BitOps, nice and easy, we're going to use the latest tag from our Docker for BitOps, and we're just going to give it the environment context that you can see here. Some of it is hidden away, and some of it, if you remember, just a moment ago, we added it in when we did our live demo params. Things like the Slack API token you don't need to know, but what we do need to know is what environment we're running for. The environment that we say here is the same environment that's going to be picked up, and it's going to run through that environment. And you can see that if we just do this 1 second, push this back. So the environment here is the same as the one that we tell BitOps to run within the container. And you can change this to be whatever, as you saw before, you can change this to be whatever custom string you would like. So you can add a little bit of context even within your top level folder to make sure that you know what environment you're running, prod, test, development. So if we run this and we jump back over into AWS, this is going to go through Terraform, and it's going to go through Terraform first because Terraform is the provisioning tool. You can see that it spits out all of the information that Terraform normally would through a Terraform plan and then Terraform apply. So if we scroll down here, we can see that this is the planned, this is the plan for Terraform to go through. The services that it's going to be creating is in green, and some of the information will be known after the deployment. So we scroll down. This is a long one because this is the full Terraform apply, but it gives the full context. And so you can use that to have a running history of what is changed within your environment, your provision services on AWS or any other cloud service. Scrolling down, you can see that this is the actual apply from Terraform, the provisioning and creation of all those resources that we've asked for. And then down here, the cleaning up portion from BitOps. So going from the very top, we can see, I scrolled way too far. Yeah, there we go. We can see that we run our before scripts, and our before script had an AWS create bucket. And if we jump over in here and just take a quick peek at our before script, we can confirm that that is what we wanted to do. And then the Terraform runs. And then you can see at the very bottom, the after deployment scripts here. Now, if we did have another tool that we wanted to run, perhaps Ansible, that would run after Terraform here. Jumping back into AWS's console, you can see our VPCs and you can see our instances. And if I refresh this, and if I refresh this one, you can now see that the HeyEmoji live demo VPC is here, and the live demo instance for EC2 is here as well. They're running, they're using the micro like we had talked about a moment ago. And so we can see that the services were provisioned by Terraform and orchestrated by BitOps here. The end result of this is the ability to use HeyEmoji to recognize our fellow workers and our employees. So if we say, hey, Mick, back here, so leaderboards, we can see that Mick's getting points, Christopher's in the lead, and HeyEmoji is responding. All right, so As you can see, BitOps, very easy. It makes it deploying services to multiple environments very, very simple. Environments are created into folders, which are top level identifiers to the corresponding AWS services that you want to deploy.